Good evening. It's Thursday, February 3rd, 2022. I'm Rick Fulbaum.
And I'm Sean Gables. Here's a look at the top stories that we're following tonight in your CBS 46 News Rewind. Developing tonight, it is a push to give parents more power inside the classroom. New legislation just introduced would create a Parents' Bill of Rights.
CBS 46's Haley Mason was in Gwinnett County with what some educators are saying.
Some parents tell me they want to make sure that their students aren't being taught inappropriate lessons in the classroom, be it about race or about sex education. But some teachers are pushing back, saying that parents already know about the lessons they're teaching and that this bill only perpetuates the divide between teachers and parents. Michael Rutnick says he wants more access and control over what his son with special needs is being taught at his Gwinnett County Middle School.
And parents need to know what their children are being taught. They need to have the ability to preview that material and decide if it's appropriate for their children.
Holly Teray says she's concerned she doesn't have enough access to the lessons and she wants more input before they're taught.
If there's something in the curriculum that parents disagree with, they have an opportunity to opt out of it.
Both parents are standing in support of a new bill by Senator Clint Dixon called the Parents' Bill of Rights. The bill being pushed by Governor Kemp goes beyond sending home the core syllabus and outline, but requires schools to provide parents with all instructional materials used to teach lessons.
It is my number one issue, and I've got parents that are contacting me daily, and I'm talking thousands of parents that are concerned about curriculum, what's being taught to their children.
If a parent wants more information on course materials, the principal or superintendent must provide it within 3 days. The bill comes as parents continue to raise concerns about the possibility of critical race theory being taught in schools, a concept that explores the impact of racism on society.
You could apply that to things like critical race theory. You know, we've had parents that have shown evidence that this type of curriculum was implemented in the classroom. However, when presented to those in authority, the answer is always CRT is not in the AKS.
Those accusations that certain things are being taught and not taught, that is a direct attack on the professionalism and integrity of educators.
That was Lisa Morgan, a kindergarten teacher and the president of the Georgia Association of Educators, who says the bill is troubling, making more work for teachers as they have to respond to the request for parents. In a 2-week time frame, parents can review lessons out to 9 weeks out. She says teachers just don't prepare lesson plans that far in advance. We also want to note that Michael Rutnick is running for Gwinnett County School Board. Reporting live in Gwinnett County, Haley Mason, CBS 46 News.
New tonight, a driver survives a 40-foot plunge into a ravine in Sandy Springs. Images show firefighters pulling the woman to safety at the Glen Ridge Creek townhomes. We're told she accidentally drove and then crashed through a metal fence and into the valley. We checked. She is doing okay.
New details tonight: an arrest made in the death of a contractor working in southwest Atlanta. Trevor Webb is now accused of shooting 2 men who were waterproofing a basement. It happened at an apartment on Allison Court yesterday. One of the workers died. The victim's family identifying him as 43-year-old Anastasio Geronimo.
The way he got killed is worse than animal, you know. He just came to do some work in here. How can someone gonna do that to him?
Webb is charged with murder and aggravated assault.
New tonight, a parking ticket scam forcing Atlanta drivers to do a double take. Check out the similarities between the fake ticket on the left and a real one on the right. Pretty hard to tell the difference. Atlanta DOT says they have gotten reports of people finding the fake tickets on their cars. Officials say real citations will never have QR codes. The city's real citations can be found at atlplusmobility.com.
New tonight, and some of Atlanta's top child doctors say that vaccines can prevent more than just COVID-19.
New research shows a rare heart condition is less likely for children who have gotten the shot. CBS 46's Adam Murphy live tonight after talking to a cardiologist at Children's Healthcare. Adam, good evening.
Good evening, Sean. Myocarditis is inflammation of the heart, and we've heard about some of these cases happening in children after they've been vaccinated. But again, cardiologists here at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Eggleston tell me it's still very rare. They've only had 13 patients with it during the entire pandemic, and all of them have recovered quickly. While there is still cause for concern, cases of myocarditis in vaccinated children are rare.
The good news is that our early findings look really good.
Dr. Matthew Oster is a cardiologist at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. He led a study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association, which shows that less than 0.01% of those vaccinated actually develop myocarditis.
Fortunately, people who have this myocarditis from the vaccine, it tends to be rather mild, and pretty self-limited. Most are admitted to the hospital primarily for observation, but they tend to get better really quickly with just some pain management.
Dr. Oster said teens and young adults who have experienced these rare cases have responded well to treatment and improved in a matter of days.
We are still seeing a lot more, kids getting hospitalized and having severe effects from getting COVID than we see, from the vaccine.
Bottom line, available research shows that children are more likely to develop myocarditis or other similar cases involving inflammation of organs if they contract COVID and have not been vaccinated.
We've had hundreds of kids admitted for MISC, multisystem inflammatory syndrome in children, which frequently includes heart disease. And some of those kids have been really, really sick, requiring basically life support to support them while their hearts are quite sick and taking time to recover.
And Children's Healthcare of Atlanta says they continue to recommend that children and others that are eligible to get vaccinated do so and get boosted as well. They believe that is the safest way for all of us to protect ourselves. We're live tonight in Atlanta. Adam Murphy, CBS 46 News.
New today, Atlanta resolving a long legal fight over land, paving the way for much needed affordable housing. Today, Mayor Andre Dickens announced a settlement with Integral Group. The two sides were fighting over development rights for 81 acres of land. Details of the settlement are limited, but we're told Atlanta will retain ownership of some of the land.
We need to consummate deals that help move us forward in the development of affordable housing. I have set the ambitious goal of 20,000 units of affordable housing, and we intend to meet that goal.
The agreement still needs approval of the Housing Authority Board. Today, Mayor Dickens also announced he's forming an affordable housing subcabinet to accomplish his goal. New at 6, a CBS 46 investigation reveals Cobb County residents are being kicked out, many being told their apartment is no longer accepting their rent payments. Families we spoke to say it's income discrimination.
Investigative reporter Sierra Cummings found it's a widespread issue in Cobb County, forcing families into homelessness.
Poor people are being pushed out of Cobb.
Everything Susan Mealer loves had to be packed in the boxes behind her, including her husband.
It was so disrespectful, that I had to put him in a box, and pack him away like he was nothing.
This urn does not only hold his ashes, but her hope, at least what remains of it, after Azure Apartments posted this on Mealer's door.
Basically, if you have the Section 8 voucher, we don't want it.
A 60-day notice to leave. We will be terminating your current lease. Sue became homeless.
It really does feel illegal because too many people are going through this. They're losing their homes. If you don't have a place to stay, then you're losing your jobs, your car.
The grandmother says she regularly paid rent of roughly $700. The letter suggests she did not get the boot because of a lack of payment, instead because of the type of payment. We are not participating in the renewal of any MHA lease, also known as Marietta Housing Authority leases, the local division of the Federal Housing Program, or Section 8.
Where are we going to go?
About 10 minutes away, Mom Cynthia Johnson.
It's not getting any better. It's getting worse.
She relies on Section 8 too, but after 65 calls, she could not find an area apartment willing to accept it.
I was on the verge of having a stroke because I've never had to experience this in my life.
Across the U.S., families can seek assistance to help pay for their rent. But what good is the program if landlords refuse to accept it? What good is the program if there's no penalty for refusing to accept it?
Mealer and Johnson's stories are no mere coincidence. Instead, it's part of a pattern we uncovered in Marietta. We went undercover and we were turned away 17 times. This is a legal form of discrimination, at least in Marietta and all of Cobb County, says Georgia State University law professor Courtney Anderson.
If you want to kind of market your property in a certain way, you might not want to be seen as an affordable housing property, an ongoing bias about stigmatizing. And so it really complicates the safety net that's meant to put in place to protect everyone in society.
Not everybody who gets Section 8 is a bad tenant.
Being kicked out like Mueller, being turned away like Johnson, it's illegal in the city of Atlanta, the only metro local government to have housing legislation against source of income discrimination, a law Marietta tenants have repeatedly begged for in Cobb County for the past year.
Imagine one day someone knocks on your door and puts you and your kids outside with no fault of your own. You have nowhere to go.
And we did call and leave voicemails with Azure at Riverside Apartments for comment on not renewing Mueller's lease. We still have not heard back from them. We also reached out to every Cobb County commissioner. Jerika Richardson was the only one who actually agreed to interview with us. Here's what she had to say about our findings.
I think you share something that should certainly be looked at. It's concerning. Things I'm interested in looking at is kind of a residence bill of rights or a tenant's bill of rights to a certain degree, to identify where there's real opportunity to make a statement, but a statement that's enforceable.
Sierra, thank you. If you have a story that needs to be investigated, send an email to investigates@cbs46.com.
New video tonight, police tracking down 2 men accused of stealing an SUV. You can see the car speeding through Atlanta last week. APD's air unit tracked them to a neighborhood where the suspects ditched the vehicle. Officers on the ground were able to find one of the suspects hiding in a shed. The other was found under someone's back deck.
Thanks for watching CBS 46 News. Watch us live wherever you are, our mobile and our streaming news app. You can also watch us on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV.